Good evening, people, and welcome to In the North Bank, the flagship show of the week, the Big Sunday show. Excited to have you all on, and we have exciting news tonight. So, before I introduce my guests, if you could call them guests, but before I introduce them, I'll do some housework, or Des will never let me away with it. Um, if you're new on, could you please like, subscribe, share, jump in the chat. You definitely want to be jumping in the chat because we have got amazing giveaways coming up. So, without any further ado, Paul has got a message for everyone. So, enjoy. It goes on for about 4 minutes, so I do apologise.
Hi everyone, welcome back to In the North Bank. This is the Bray, just before dipping off to the game today. And some news involving the Big Sunday show. And look, today we've got some really good news. We've officially partnered with the brilliant Ruth Beckart, and is our very first sponsor. And to celebrate, we're launching something very special for the show. So we'll be offering a monthly giveaway where you can win a stunning Arsenal watercolour handcrafted by Ruth herself, and they are fantastic. And I've been aware of Ruth for a long time through some of the posts she's put out about her art, and some of them are fantastic. They're all good, but some of them really make the heart melt. Yeah, really good stuff. Well worth a visit. We're going to ruthbeckart.com. Going to be really simple to enter. Here's what to do. First, subscribe to the channel. Secondly, like this video. And then also like the Big Sunday show video once it's live. And then thirdly, comment below directly on the Big Sunday show stream with the hashtag Ruth Beckart. And that's it. You'll be in a chance to win that artwork, and any true Arsenal fan would love it on the wall. There's some, as I said, some really good stuff to have. And just a quick important note, giveaway is only for UK residents, and we'll be announcing the winners right here during the Big Sunday show. So make sure you stay tuned, get involved, and keep an eye out. Yeah, so that'll be the Big Sunday show, the first of the month, the first week of the month. That will be announced. The draws, or the competition end date, will be 6 o'clock on the final day of the month. So 31st of May at 6 o'clock. That will be it, the cut-off, and then the next Sunday after that we'll have the announcement who wins. So massive thanks again to Ruth Beckart for supporting the show, the community online, and a massive thanks to you all for being part of it too. The show has gone on. The contributions have been fantastic. Special thanks to Mark, to Des the Enforcer, and Richard as well for keeping the content going, the ideas. It's brilliant. It's brilliant to see, and it's not all on me now, which I've struggled with. So brilliant for everyone, because it means there's going to be more Arsenal content. But as I say, don't miss out. Subscribe, like, comment, hashtag Ruth Beckart, and you could be the next lucky winner. Well, certainly our first lucky winner, and then the months after that, we'll see what we do. But good luck, everyone. As always, come on, you Gunners. See you later.
Thanks for Paul for that. And welcome Brian to the show. Always late, as normal. Just before I introduce the guys, I just want to express like what I think of Ruth Beck and first of all, as a person, Ruth is in the dealings that I've had with Ruth is like one of the loveliest human beings that you could possibly meet or we speak to. I follow her on Twitter. Her work is absolutely fantastic. It is a print not she's going to give away or a surprise bag. But what I thought I would do, rather than just jump onto Ruth Beck's website, which is advertised on the show, my house is full of Ruth's work. And it is absolutely amazing. I mean properly full. I've got 8 photos that I'm going to show you just of some of it. Some of these have came out of her surprise bags, and other ones have been prints that I've actually bought. But I'll discuss a bit about that, and then we'll move on to the show. So this one, unfortunately, sorry, you see the light, is the final day at Highbury, and it's Thierry Henry bending down on the corner flag, just soaking it in. This is a bit like the final whistles went, and this is it done. So she's captured unbelievable moments in history. Another one with Henry, which is absolutely fantastic. This one is out of one of the surprise bags that I got, which is obviously Havertz. Then we've got our captain and our manager, which is brilliant. A more up-to-date one would be Declan Rice. This is on my wall right now behind me. And then you get on to the ones that, like, I find... I love looking at these, and I do it daily. I'm lucky enough because I have bought a lot of Ruth's work. And so I'm grateful that she's actually sponsoring the show. These are just absolutely breathtaking. I have no words for it. Absolutely no words whatsoever. The latest bits of the stadium. The final one I'm going to show, and I actually had to ask Ruth, because I asked Ruth for a surprise. I put an order in, and I said, could you surprise me? Just tell me what you think. And this one was intriguing. Now, it's a guard. It's at Highbury. It's on top of the stairs. Now, she came back, Ruth, being as fantastic as she is, she came back, she explained, Stuart McFarlane, the Arsenal photographer, he took this photo, and this guard is standing at the top of the stairs. It's not to protect the directors, but it's like guard the area of the directors. And honestly, like, my picture's not doing it any justice at all because there's light coming in. But guys, it's so affordable. Honestly, our work's absolutely incredible. We are giving away a print or a surprise bag at the end of the month. So do what Paul said: like, subscribe, follow Ruth, and that's it. You're in the draw. You're in the draw. But absolutely amazing. So please do check our work out. Without further ado, on to the show. Our guests this evening, Des, how are you, bro?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm looking forward to this. I just want to know how Richard feels after sucking off Peppa Pig.
I'm very good after sucking Peppa Pig off. I'm revitalised.
There is something wrong with y'all.
Richard, ignore him. Ignore him. Sorry, this was going on in the green room just before we came in. How are you, Richard?
I'm good, thank you. I'm looking forward to tonight.
Excellent. Brian, how are you, bro?
Doing good, man. You know, out walking the dog, wearing the sunglasses on an overcast day. You know, nothing too different.
Nothing changes, does it? Nothing changes.
You guys absolutely kill me. I did. Like, I should have expected this. It's the first time I've hosted in like months there because Des normally does it. So I'm bound to know that just would come at that. So yeah, Des, if you control the big up Emerson, Des, you control the chat tonight, that would be absolutely amazing, bro.
That's fine, mate. Leave it to me. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, good man. I've got to give Des something to do, or he gets very fidgety.
Hi, Emerson. Hope you're well, mate.
Yeah. Oh, and I've had a full glass of cream.
Oh God.
It's not full anymore.
No, you see,
No,
drink that,
Brian,
Brian.
don't encourage him. Do not encourage him. Right, quickly moving on before all our sponsorships actually pull the plug. I want to start the evening by talking about the PSG game. And just your thoughts, your general thoughts on how you felt it went. So, Des, do you want to give us a little breakdown of like your take?
Yeah, well, basically, I'll keep it short and sweet, really, because I didn't really watch the match. I was smashing into wheelchairs.
So you were battering, you were hurting disabled people, Des, yeah.
Well, in a manner of speaking, yeah. But from what I saw, and I did watch the extended highlights, what I did see is this: they scored a quick goal. We were caught out, yeah. Everybody's getting on Odegaard's back. Leave the lad alone, basically. He's having a bad season. Every player has a bad season, one season in their career, don't they? You know? But for me, I'm not going to lose my head because we're only one goal down. They could have scored 3 or 4, but they didn't. Yeah? And we could have scored, I think we could have scored 3. You know? And even when Mourinho scored, it was a tight offside call. Do you know what I mean? So most of the fan base is going mental. And end of the day, we're going into the second leg 1-0 down. Yeah? It's not the end of it. We need to get behind the team. We need to get behind Arteta. Yeah? And be the fan base that we should be. Instead of, always looking at things negatively. I'm not saying that you guys I'm just speaking general, yeah? But a lot of our fan base look at things negatively. Do you know what I mean? And no, we could still win this. And I think we're going to win this. But there you go, Mark. That's what I think.
Yeah, well, we'll be touching more on this near the end of the show, but I share your sentiments. Richard, you done the watch along for the game?
Yeah, I mean,
sorry, it's not me cutting you off, but you cutting me off today. Just what was your takes on the game, and was there things that really stood out for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think you mentioned in the watch along, it took us a while to get into the game. It was sort of 30 odd minutes before we started to gain control of the game. PSG started fast, and we struggled gaining any sort of control or momentum in the game. But once we did, we started to cause some problems, and we got quite comfortable. They kept catching us as the game wore on the counter, but set pieces they looked shaky as hell, and I think that was backed up by the stats that they were worst in their league in the set piece for conceding set pieces, and but they don't get many set pieces against them because they're so dominant. So I think we can cause them problems, and I think 1-0 was a reasonable score against a decent team to come away with.
Yeah, no, fair enough, and I agree as well. Brian, do you want to give just a bit of a breakdown what you done for watching the game, some of the people that you met, and some of the takeaway points that you had?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first off, thanks for having me on tonight, or this afternoon, whatever the hell time it is. But for people that don't know, I was down in Charlotte for work this past week, and I ended up hooking up with the Queen City Gooners. Their Arsenal bar down there is the Dilworth Neighborhood Grill, and it was just an absolutely amazing experience to be around people that hadn't been around before. And just to see that the passion that we have, it's all over the world. Met up with the vice president there, Sam, his son Jax, who is a much better analyst of the game than I will ever be. Met up with this guy Logan, who does the the Queencast, the podcast for Charlotte FC, and just meeting all sorts of people down there that all cared. As far as analysis of the game, I think that we really, really saw how much we missed Partey. I don't think if he was in there, I don't think PSG would have hit us on the break nearly as much as they did. I do think 1-0 is a fair score. Like Richard and Des said, that first 20, 30 minutes, yeah, we were out of it, but then we grew into it. And I wouldn't necessarily say we dominated them after that, but it was definitely night and day from what it was before. Yeah, I think Odegaard is getting a little bit too much stick for what he's been doing. But it could have been a lot worse. And I will say that the confidence that our fan base has. I mean, I really think it's different, over here, because everybody has been so supportive. Everybody, nobody's getting on Arteta. Nobody's really, shitting on Odegaard. We're just like, hey, up the fucking Arsenal, we run it back in Paris. And I think we have a really, really good shot in Paris.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Welcome to the show, Seema. Fashionably late, can't talk because she's got her mouth full.
No change there then.
and yet on the group chat, we're not allowed to talk about food.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Well,
it's funny.
Seema, while you're chewing, yeah, I'll just ask Brian a question, because on your interview show, Brian, you
you're in twice.
You interviewed a young lady, yeah.
Yeah, Justine.
Yeah, she'd only been supporting Arsenal for a month, yeah.
Basically, like 20 minutes, yeah.
20 minutes. 20 minutes. I just thought, well, yeah, but that just shows it don't matter how long you've supported Arsenal. Once you put that top on,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
actually,
she was really
Jax,
nice to speak to too.
I thought Jax was so cool.
He knew his stuff as well, that lad, mate.
Yeah, he did. Do you know what was funny? He actually made a comment at half time. Seaman, you're signed on in 2 devices.
You can't just. I know what to do.
Are.
Let me do it. Did
you make a kicker?
I can kick one of them, yeah.
No, she there's only one of her now on me.
I was never on to.
There you go. I've sorted it. Carry on.
No, I'm still removed from the stream, it says.
No, you're not. Well, we can hear you.
We all hear you and see you.
I can't see anybody, though.
You what?
Do you not?
No.
Do you want, Seaman, do you want to leave and come back in?
Yeah. Oh, hang on a minute.
Right. Yeah. That's right.
See, there's 2.
That's
I
just kicked one.
No, the Seema in double vision is beautiful.
Can you hear us now?
I can, and I can see you all.
Yeah.
And by the way, Mark, I'm not late because I told you I'd be there between 8:30 or 8:45. I said.
Yeah, you did. So you're actually half an hour early.
I'm actually early.
Des, could you bring the other Seema back up, because I've got one clone that I can marry.
I've already kicked her, mate. I can't do nothing about it.
Can we get into the show for a few minutes with me, and then we can talk about it?
Well, Seema, at least you weren't licking Peppa Pig.
Don't.
Oh God, don't.
Richard was licking Peppa Pig, Seema.
Aye. She tasted good.
Oh my God! I am so glad I wasn't in the green room for this ridiculousness.
Honestly, it was horrendous. Anyway, back to the show. They're trying to sabotage the show because I'm hosting tonight.
Not at all.
Two of them are just completely misbehaving.
So when you normally host the show, you ask the question, then you shut up.
Oh shit! Seema's on a heater tonight.
Jesus, I've got 5 of them.
I'm so glad I came on tonight. I'm so glad.
Me too. I needed a laugh tonight. I've had a really good time, actually. I know you're asking the questions, but let me tell you, I met 2 Gooners today. I mean, Penny's my friend. She's from Nairobi. And then I met Ali, who's also from Nairobi, and he's also a Gooner. And they were at the game yesterday, which was really nice. So yeah, good fans, but I couldn't get them on the show. Mark did ask me, but they've gone. She's the DJ back in Nairobi, so she's actually gone to see a gig tonight. So yeah, hence why they're not on, Mark.
Okay.
Okay, you can talk now and ask the question.
Seema, could you give me a quick rundown of PSG? Can we make this family friendly? It's 8:20.
What do you want me to run down?
Just the PSG game, just your take from it.
Your take on the PSG game.
God, that was so long ago. I've forgotten about it.
It was
I'm kicking her, Mark. She shouldn't be here. If she doesn't know what she's talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about. There wasn't much happening in that game, for sure. And then the fact that we lost 1-0, it was just, it was very depressing. It was very, to be honest, right, I don't know, people have said to me the atmosphere was flat.
Were you there?
Sorry?
Were you there?
Yeah, I was there. It started off fantastic, the pre-up to it, when they do the whole, Champions League stuff. It was brilliant. And then it killed it. It absolutely killed it. But I don't understand why it should have killed it. The goal was only 3 minutes in. I was like, 3 minutes, right?
Yeah, just under 4.
Yeah. So, why did the crowd go down and just, the North Bank was really trying to pick it up, and, the clock end was really trying to pick it up, but it was just that middle section. And then they were taking it over. PSG, sorry, I keep saying V, but PSG, they were non-stop. So they were bringing, the noise as Arteta wanted. Just the wrong team was bringing it.
I think that, through what we saw, Stephen, the way it came over on the TV, everything you've just said was absolutely correct. The atmosphere before the game, the build-up, everything was absolutely amazing. But as soon as they got that goal, and that would have been what PSG wanted, get that early goal, kill the stadium, and to be honest, the most of the singing that I heard, and Richard as well, would have been just PSG fans.
Yeah.
It was really, really disappointing.
But Mark, I would say that's a lot to do with how the media control the sound, because I'm not saying, when I say flat, it wasn't as great as the Real Madrid game.
Yeah,
but you see, we've got an issue when we go to PSG, because they're going to chuck us up in the rafters, aren't they?
Yeah, as they do.
So we're going to have the same sort of problem.
Yeah,
and to be fair, PSG travels really well. PSG travels really well.
Yeah.
Do you know what their outlet has actually done? I'm bring this back on Arsenal, but when we played them in the Champions League earlier in the season, their outlets actually turned up at a Sunday league game, or a youth team. Yeah.
I was 100% to bring that up. I was about to bring that up. I thought that was awesome.
I thought it was as well. I watched the videos. It was absolutely on the money. Right, just moving away from PSG, that'll be the final segment of the show, talking about Wednesday. It's Wednesday this week. So we'll come back on to that. I want to mention, before we go to Bournemouth, I do want to mention Odegaard. And he's in for a lot of stick off the fan base at the moment. Right way or wrong way, I just want to get your guys' take of why. What has happened to Odegaard this season, and why has the Arsenal fan base, or certainly the online fan base, turned against him? Des, you want to kick it off?
Yeah, mate, I'll kick it off. I'll tell you, I've got a few theories on this, right? Number one, he's had a kid, yeah? And that changes you overnight, yeah? And why are you looking at the sky? What's the matter, Seema?
Because I've had 3 kids. It don't change you.
It doesn't matter. No. It might not change a woman, but it does change a man. Honestly, it does. It does.
What do you do?
I've become a man overnight, Seema. I've got no choice. I did it when my daughter was born. You know what I'm saying?
Well, speak for
yourself.
I
changed nappies, Seema. I bathed her. I did it all, mate. I did it all. I was a stay-at-home dad. You know what I mean?
And then you went to work.
No. I stayed at home. I gave up my job to look after my kid until she went to school.
Okay, so your lady went to work.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a difference.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is, because she stays at home with the baby. He goes off to work. He has that time out where he has to go and concentrate on his job.
I forgot. Are we still living in the 1950s?
Doesn't matter. The fact is, he does it. It's not the 50s, it's not the 60s, not the 70s.
I know, all I'm saying is it will still affect him.
It's a modern day man. He can
Lack
learn
of
to
sleep.
juggle everything just like a woman can.
Lack of sleep.
Well, hang on a second.
Well, I haven't
Because
finished yet.
Debate.
well, out of the five of us, I am the most recent parent. And I can tell
How do you know?
Oh, well, that's a valid point. Well, Mark, you got to have a date or something like that, and we and Seema haven't hooked up yet, so I don't know what to say.
He's too interested in Richard's nan.
Right?
Yeah.
But no, like speaking for me, yeah, I don't really give a fuck about work right now, and the bubs are in daycare, and it's like all I want to do is get home and have them annoy the shit out of me, like those are. Like those are my pride and joy, and so yeah, it 100% affects me. Like it's only natural to assume that there may be something more important than football in Odegaard's life right now, and I don't think we should shit on him for that at all.
Seema, when you put your camera back on, I wasn't trying to be sexist or anything like that. All right, it's not trying to be sexist or say men are better than women. I wasn't trying to be like that, but I will say this. Yeah, the main reason why he's been affected this season is I still think he came back from injury too soon.
Okay.
And yeah, it's affected him big time. Plus, players have been missing that he likes to play off. Saka, for example. Yeah, not taking anything away from Ethan. I mean, can you imagine how you would feel if you're Odegaard and you've got Sterling in front of you? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, before I get it in the comments saying I'm being sexist, I get it. I'm not. I was just saying that it can affect a man. It's not.
But, okay. What I'm going to say to you here is, look, Jesus had a baby. Gabrielle had the baby, right? They're all dads. And they're great. Their kids have grown, right? They're 5-6 years old.
You know, I get it.
Right, they managed to do it. Who else is it? Kai Havertz. Are we going to say Kai Havertz is going to have the same problem?
No.
He might.
Before you start blowing your gaskets again, right? All I'm saying is, I didn't say it was the main reason. I said, thanks very much. I didn't say it was the main reason. I said it was a reason. Okay. The main reason is because I believe that he came back from injury too quickly.
That I can agree with.
Okay, cool. I'm glad we can agree on something. That's great.
Right. So, Richard, do you think then that Odegaard came back from injury too quickly, or do you think there could be a section or a part of Odegaard that is not confident in the ankle?
I'm not sure if he came back too early or not. I mean, to get to Des's point, I think though he probably hasn't articulated it correctly, is that we don't know if a baby sleeps during the night, and with all the best will in the world, a baby that wakes up in the night constantly will keep both parents awake. It happens, and that's not to. That's just life, and maybe he struggled with that. He's definitely lost confidence. He's taking a bit of time to take his shots. He's taking a bit. He hasn't got that awareness of the players around him because it's swap change. So all those dynamics has changed, and you can see there is something definitely missing, and that's got to change. I don't think Arteta helps by just keep continuous playing. He could have subbed him earlier for Nwaneri, and it's at some point you've got to take him out, put an arm around him, and find out what the issue is.
Yeah, I would agree. Brian, have you got anything that you want to add to that apart from feeding your kids?
So, I mean, Odegaard's kid is what, 8 months right now? 8 months right now?
Probably, yeah. Probably about that.
And I am no pediatrician or anything like that. But he's probably starting to get more sleep during the night. But if he's a good dad too, he's not making his partner get up, every single time there needs to be a diaper, every single time, the baby's hungry or anything like that. I will say, like, I don't know if he came back early from injury or not, but I absolutely think that he's lost his confidence. I mean, I think about that free kick he had, I don't know, I guess about 30 minutes into the game yesterday, and he just put it right into the wall, just right into the wall. Didn't look like he had anything to it. And so I think, take him off, put an arm around his shoulder, be like, yo, dude, we got it for you.
I do agree with Richard. I think he's being played when he doesn't need to be played. I think he's being overplayed.
If it's a confidence factor, though, then the only way to get the confidence back is by playing. And
can you not get confidence back on the training pitch? No. Because I'll tell you what else he's doing as well, Mark. It's just come to me, right? He's not having shots from where he would have had shots last season.
100%.
And he's doing that little. I've got to do that little dink ball over and hope someone gets to it. Where he should be shooting. And that's what's left. Brian's right, and Seema are right. Confidence, and you are as well. Confidence, but he's not having them shots that he was having last season from, say, 17 yards out or whatever, 18 yards out, whatever.
I'll let Seema come through, and then I'm going to give my take on it. But I think I could add something to this. But
thank you, Mark. What I'm going to say is, look, he gets paid a lot of money, right? So maybe we're reading into this whole kid thing too much, because one, he could have a nanny. Two, they live in big houses. They can sleep in separate rooms, so he doesn't hear the baby cry. Okay, so there's so many factors there. I think it's just more than just the kid coming in. And if you have a look at the way he was physically and to how he looks now, there is a drastic change, which then shows you that physically there's something going on.
He looks gaunt, doesn't he?
He looks very gaunt. His cheekbones have come out and they're just sunken right here. So they could be that, either that, or whilst he was ill and off, on his recovery, he did put on weight. So he's having to work that off and get into the fitness. And he wasn't fully, he was fit to play, but he wasn't fully fit in body, mind and soul.
No, I get you.
I agree. Do you know what? I think that's the really valid point, Seema. And one thing I was wanting to pick up just on the baby thing, because I don't think that's an excuse for a professional footballer. I worked in transport, and when I had my kids, I had to drive for 11 to 12 hours per day. So I couldn't have broken sleep and would be really tired coming home from work, have a broken sleep and then go and drive the next day. It would have been unsafe. So I took myself away from getting woke up. And I think that anybody could do that. And Seema's right with the nanny and that. But I was actually going to pick up on his diet and that. And I don't think for a second that Odegaard is actually playing horrendous at the moment. It's just by his own standards, he's way off it. He's not as good as what Odegaard is. But the two factors that I'll add into that as well, and I think they're key, and I'm surprised nobody picked up on it, is actually Ben White's been out injured and so is Saka. So the whole pod...
I did touch on it, mate. I said he hasn't had the people around him that he likes.
Right, yeah. Sorry, I didn't pick up on that. But they three together... and I think they could do stuff without even thinking. And all of a sudden, that's a team... Timber's in there, who, let's face it, it's not like this season's his first season really playing fully. So yeah, and then you've had Saka out as well. So I think all that's had an impact on Odegaard as well. But I don't know what the answer is to get Odegaard back. And the reason I wanted to bring him up today is because I would like that answer, because I need him back for Wednesday.
I just want to throw one more thing in as well, right? And I don't think it's just Odegaard. I think it can be any player. Social media affects him. And he has, let's be honest and let's be blunt about this, right? He has become the whipping boy for the haters.
Yeah.
And I think it's affecting him as well in that respect.
He's not the only one, but we'll touch on that. So, yesterday, Seema, Bournemouth. You were at the game, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you want to give us just a quick rundown of like your thoughts and feelings of it?
I think the first half we dominated the game. You know, we were really on top of it. We got the goal finally because we had so many chances we could have done. I don't even think they got into their own half. Like we were just fully dominating. But what was said at half time from both managers, there were two different teams out there. You know, it was almost like, nah, we're 1-0 up. You know, we got this. Let's just move on. Let's just slow our pace down. They totally took over. And honestly, yesterday my anger wasn't towards Odegaard. Yeah, he missed a couple of the shots. My anger was towards Raya.
Yeah, he could have saved them. He could have saved both of them.
He could have saved both of them. He was just tossing about. And how many times is he going to give other teams the chance to lob it over him because he's so, excuse me my French, but fucking far out, you know, and then he finds himself looking like a twat running back. I mean, honestly, he's one that I'm angered with.
Yeah, I would agree a bit with that as well. Brian, do you want to touch on that? Like, what do you think was said at half time? Is it a case of the other players were already focused on Wednesday, or do you think Arteta just got it completely wrong?
I don't even. Sorry, can I just quickly finish it, Brian? Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. I don't even think it was a rehearsal for Wednesday.
No. I agree, Seema. I agree.
Sorry, Brian.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with that. And like Seema, I want to echo your thoughts about David Raya. I am just sick to death of him. Why we didn't keep Ramsdale, I don't know. I don't want to hear from anybody about his distribution is worse than Raya's. Like, I don't want to hear it. Like, we should buy Ramsdale back for like £10 million from Southampton because you know we're going to get him for a song, and we have an actual competition for goalkeeper. We have an actual competition. In terms of what went on yesterday, I don't really think Arteta said anything. I think it was Bournemouth realizing that they're actually a decent side. You know, I think people don't necessarily give them the credit that they deserve. You know, they came out in the second half and they came out flying, and you know, it looked a lot like we were tired. You know, I think that we had, you know, our eyes on Wednesday as well, but I think because we don't have the squad depth that we're just getting tired, and we can't really hang in games where, you know, we're getting pushed like that, and I think that may bode ill for Wednesday.
Okay. Right, Richard, do you want to talk about Declan Rice and how it was a man of the match performance and then the mistake as well?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the first goal, either it's a world-class ball in and it misses, it bypasses him, or he doesn't jump and Huijsen gets his head to it. I was of the opinion that he didn't defend that set piece very well. But
Huijsen's a giant too. Like, Huijsen is a giant.
Yeah, but he was in front of Huijsen, and he, as I said, you either say the ball was world class, or you look at could Rice have jumped more. But I was watching the match. I was of the opinion that Rice didn't do enough defensively, and that allowed Huijsen to get his head to the ball. In the match, you saw a lot of Rice there running on into the box, being a runner off Trossard, and that was something that is quite interesting considering some of the strikers we're linked with. He had one, he sort of he hooked wide. Then he had the one where he rounded the keeper, and it was a mixed match performance. He went from being totally dominant to being out of the game from about 65 minutes onwards.
Yeah, I would agree 100% with that. Des, I want to leave one for you, and the one that this actually gets to me, Des. But this season we've seen referee decisions that have we've been on the wrong end of them, and I would say it's countless. It's like the red cards that we've had, various other decisions. I can't actually remember like a 50-50 decision that's actually went Arsenal's way this season. For me, I honestly can't remember. So,
well, the last one was the PSG one where Saka missed the penalty, wasn't it? That would be the actual last one. Sorry, was it PSG or PSV? I'm doing Real Madrid. Sorry. Oh, what am I doing? Sorry, give me a moment. Madrid one. Yeah, the Real Madrid one was a 50-50 call at the end of the day, wasn't
it? I kind of felt that was a penalty, but like okay, in the Premier League then, because the European referees are referees are totally different to Premier League referees.
Okay, fair enough.
So yesterday, I think Bournemouth should have had a penalty. Odegaard was all over Evan Nielsen, and for me it was a penalty kick. However, the ball strikes Evan Nielsen in the elbow, which is below his shirt line.
Yeah.
Goes in the back of the net. A howler by Rea, we've got to add. And Arsenal are obviously 2-1 down. But just touching on the referees, the standard has been shocking. And the decisions against Arsenal have also been absolutely diabolical this season.
Well, we've been saying it all season, haven't we, mate? I mean, we kind of do a ref section every week, don't we? And we're saying the same things every week. Yeah. But how come they don't see what we see on the television, or maybe what Seema sees in the ground? I mean, I'm going back now to when Lewis Skelly got sent off. The referee was only 3, 4, 5 feet away.
Wolves game.
That's the one.
Yeah.
You know, and it just absolutely crazy. I mean, I think yesterday's game as well was a carbon copy of last year. Didn't they beat us with 2 set pieces last year?
Wasn't that the one where Reece Nielsen got that final goal from that corner? But we won 3-2.
Yeah.
No. Hold on. You sure? Or was that a Bournemouth? It might have been a Bournemouth. But there we go. But they've
only beaten us once at the Emirates.
Yeah, but they seem to be able to beat us at set pieces, don't they?
Yeah.
And the referee, I mean, was Evan Nielsen's a goal yesterday? I mean, yeah, you're calling for a penalty for Odegaard all over him, but then he has handball. When's handball these days?
Well, this is the reason I wanted to bring it up, because a handball is meant to be anything under the shirt line.
Yeah,
exactly.
And it hit his elbow, but they said
some people said that it hit his stomach. They weren't saying that it hit his elbow. They said it hit his stomach.
It hit his elbow. There's absolutely pinpoint pictures and videos hitting his elbow.
But now they've got this cover excuse, haven't they? His arm's not in a natural position. Well, but it still hit the ball. So why does it have to be natural? Why?
Handball leading to a goal of any type is like it gets chopped off. It doesn't matter regardless.
It came off his elbow. It should be chalked off. Simple as.
Well,
but then it came off a Raya, and didn't they end up calling it a Raya own goal?
Did they? I don't know. I actually don't know about that.
No, I don't think so, Brian. I think that
no, they definitely. When I it was definitely the lad got credited with the goal. Yeah, Evan Nielsen. He got credited with the goal. It definitely wasn't Raya,
because it was on target.
But if it's the point I'm trying to make though, Rich, is if it's come off his arm, it's handball, right? It doesn't matter whether his arm's in a natural or an unnatural position. That should be chalked off.
Yeah.
Right. You can't blame the referee on the pitch from where he was. His view wasn't as clear. But the issue is was it a clear and obvious error? And
no, Richard, no,
we sat
Richard,
there, we sat there and we watched, and we said from multiple angles we weren't sure. There was one angle where we said that looks more like a handball than it was anything, and it's that one probably from a just the angle of the 18-yard box looking in on at the two players, and it hits the chest and the arm, the ribs and the arm, and then goes off. And that's the only one that I would have said gave it conclusively.
But Richard, but then it's like, it's just excuses, isn't it? It's white tape and excuses.
But they have said that unless it's clear and obvious,
but
they will
but
not.
this is the problem, Richard. See, I disagree with this, right?
I agree with that.
I disagree with that because I think there is decisions that a referee can make a decision and he's missed something and they say unless it's clear and obvious. So I get that take. However, handball is handball, especially if it leads towards a goal. It's handball. So
Yeah,
that
and
there shouldn't be any clear and obvious. It's just handball. It's off.
Sorry, I'm just watching it back because I haven't even seen it since yesterday. And I'm sorry, but handball or not, right? Raya fucked that up.
He did look
He
up.
just
No,
bounced
no,
off
I
him.
agree.
Bounced
It's all-
off him. What the
it's
hell
on
is he
Raya.
doing?
It's on
And
Raya.
it's throwing. What bloody good throwing was that?
It was a Delat throw-in, wasn't it? Do you remember the Delat throw-in?
Yeah.
It was one of them, wasn't it?
I mean,
Seeming you're not
as
wrong.
his coach, did he not realise that he's going to take that bloody throw and then to place them all like that? Raya should have been fully aware of that ball coming in.
I got the feeling yesterday that Raya didn't command his area at all.
No, he didn't.
I just got that feeling off him.
And these concentration levels were not
Oh,
there.
and by the way, what you don't see is afterwards, the final whistle goes, and the players left the pitch. Okay, they were gone within minutes. Okay, Raya was still out there talking to the fucking Bournemouth lot. Exactly.
I mean, Mark, you all make good points, right? But when I hear Richard say clear and obvious, it's white tape. It's white tape and excuses.
Yeah.
I mean, how many decisions this season, Richard, genuinely, and I don't just mean in Arsenal games for a second, but how many decisions this season have always had that excuse, no clear and obvious?
Yeah, I'm just sick of them. We've got the two decisions, the three decisions last season for when Newcastle beat us at St James's Park. Phil and Gabriel, clear and obvious. They ignored it. The ball going out, they ignored it, and then the offside, they ignored it. And the goal was given. And it just feels, for me personally, it feels that everything is going against Arsenal with the referees just now, and I do not know why.
I think they should cancel handball because it never gets called.
It's ridiculous, mate.
Don't have a handball rule because it never gets called. So,
it's absolutely ridiculous. It's the other point of view.
I mean, my only other thing is we didn't do enough in that game to win it.
Yeah, I agree. Richard, you're
Regardless
100% correct. And if I'm being honest, as a fan, we all are, I wasn't actually given two shits about the game yesterday, to be honest. Yep, Arsenal pick up 3 points, good. No injuries, brilliant. My focus is on Wednesday. And if I'm feeling that way, surely the players, you've got to understand the players are a bit. And I think that came out in the performance.
Yeah. I mean, I think I said to you in the game, Mark, I was annoyed at Arteta that at round about 60, 65 minutes, when you could see the game was getting away with us, we've got an important game coming up Wednesday, and you don't make a sub to about 75th minute, then it's Marino, and then your next three subs are Sterling, Nwaneri and Zinchenko. The only one there that adds value to that
87th minute,
is Nwaneri.
On the 87th minute.
What?
I mean, I want to just...
Yeah, it was quite
I
late
just
in the
want to
game,
chuck
wasn't
something
it?
here about PSG as well, right? Just from the weekend. They lost their game but they rested 10 players.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
They've already won their
they've
league.
had that
They've definitely
league
won their
won
league,
for
haven't
months.
But see, the thing is,
Yeah.
Arsenal won't be training. They won't be doing white training, so they're playing every 3 days. So it's like there's nothing like game time. I'm just worried about the confidence within the side. But we'll definitely go back to PSG. Brian, there's been a lot of hate online regarding Arteta, and on an eve of, I find it unbelievable, second leg with Arsenal still with an opportunity to get to the Champions League Final. These fans are coming out and calling Arteta out. And what do you make of it, bro?
Nope.
Brian, are you still there?
Hang on, come back to me in a second. I've got tiny terrorists running around right now.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, Des, I'll throw that one over to you then.
Okay, mate. I'm sorry, what was the question again? Sorry, mate.
Yeah, just with Arsenal being on the eve of a second leg of Champions League semi-final. Yeah, the hate towards Arteta. What do you make of it, and is it justified?
Ridiculous. One word, ridiculous, mate. Yeah. This man can't do anything right to a lot of our fan base. It's ridiculous, right? He's damned if he do and he's damned if he don't. Yeah. And the most stupidest thing I've seen, and I'm not going to mention names, I'm just going to say what they said was, if you don't beat PSG, leave. What an absolute...
Like they pay his wages.
Yeah, exactly. It's just let the man, right, do his job. I've said it before on other shows. Let the man do his job. Just leave him be. End of the day, yes, he might upset you. He's gonna get things wrong. He's human. Yes, we will get annoyed. But the hatred is so real, it's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. And I just think, if you ain't got nothing to say that's relevant, shut up.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Why don't they just shut up? If you're so
take it.
Sorry, Des. If you're so pissed off with Arteta, go to support Chelsea. Go support Crystal Palace. Go and do Man United.
West Ham's just down the road, isn't it?
Exactly.
And
Go to Spurs.
Yeah.
Do you want to know something that's funny? And I actually saw a comment and I busted laughing at it. Only once in our history has Arsenal ever got to a Champions League final. Once. But we should sack Arteta for not making it. It's like, explain that to me. Well, it's all the rest of the managers succeeded, have they? They all succeeded. Did Arsene Wenger do it to like 4 or 5 times?
Sorry, go on. I'm gonna tell you what I did yesterday. So when we were walking back to the station, and I never do this kind of shit, okay? And I was really wound up. I was upset. So we're walking along, and all the Bournemouth fans are bloody well, singing and lyric. They only know one bloody song, and it was the same one on fucking repeat for starters. And then obviously the queues are building up to get into the station, right? So the guys in front of us, Bournemouth fans, they weren't singing, but there was a few right on the other side that were. So I turned around to my son and I went, sorry, where are they in the league?
Yeah.
Oh, right. I got that. Tell me something. Have they ever got to Europe? Oh, no, they haven't, have they? I mean, they didn't even make the baby league, did they?
They were singing second again, weren't they? Second again.
Everybody sings second again.
Yeah.
Why? And I'll tell you why they sing second again. Because they fucking can't get there.
Yeah, exactly.
They got to chant it because in the hope that they'll get there. And then I can't remember. There was one more thing I said, and the guy turned around and looked at me, and I looked at him and I went, the Saka pose.
Yeah. Do you know what gets me, guys? Right? Oh, let's sack Arteta tomorrow. He's blah 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 blah. Who's going to come?
Exactly.
Who's going to take his place? Oh, I want Simeone. Simeone's not going to come. Simeone's not going to come to Arsenal.
They're not going to want him.
No.
Nagelsmann wouldn't come.
No. Oh yeah, get rid of him. Get rid of him in the next 5 minutes. do you know what, people? You haven't really thought this through, have you? It's a want and need basis. You only want to get rid of Arteta because you want Simeone, who's not going to come to the club. Yeah, you want such and such. They're not going to come to the club. Oh, Klopp's available, isn't he? Can you see him coming to Arsenal? No.
He's already said that he'll never manage in the Premier League.
Exactly. There you go. So, just leave it. Jump on a different horse and start talking about something else.
So I heard on one of the chats today, on one of another group today.
Mm-hmm.
I don't follow them. I'm not part of their group, but it just popped up on my TikTok. And the guy gave a brilliant analogy by saying, look, Formula One, right? You got McLaren. They've got the best cars in the world. They've got the best drivers. Hence they win, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then you've got, if you look at Red Bull, they've got great cars, but their drivers.
Fuck Red Bull.
And they don't win.
Okay,
You know?
right.
So,
Red Bull have got the best driver in the world, so fuck you, both of you.
wait, I'm just talking about the comparison.
It's the comparison, though, isn't it?
I added to it because I was having this conversation with the two Arsenal fans, but the other person was not a fan, okay, of football. But he was having a dig at, because he was at the game yesterday and he was upset that, you know, we hadn't played well in the second half. And so he was saying that, and I said, look, right, it's exactly the same in football. Man City came in, they bought their players in, right? They made the team by buying it. The money bought it in, right? And then there's Arsenal. What did Arteta do? He came in, got rid of the trash, built his team. It takes time to build a team, right? So what did Arne Slot do? He came in, he inherited Klopp's team that was reaching the peak. He inherited it. He didn't build anything.
If Salah had been injured,
No, he inherited a Premier League winning team and Champions League winning team.
but if Salah had been injured this season, they wouldn't have been nowhere near it.
And they said it today. Absolutely today. When they got hammered 3-1 at Chelsea, Slot was still praising his team, saying, oh, yeah, we played really well. Well, you're going to say that. You're fucking champions now. You don't need to show anybody anything. That is the true Liverpool side. They just had everything go their way.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They know better from the first game of the season, but they just had things go their way.
See, they benefit as well in the respect of transfer window now. They've got better chance of getting the players they want because they've won the league.
Yeah. So, you know, at the end of the day, all these people that are talking about Arteta out are glory hunting for clout, for ticks.
It's for clicks, isn't it? It's for clicks and subs. Clicks and subs.
I said that I was on an Arsenal space last night, and big up Mel, by the way. Mel normally joins on spaces and that, and I was on one last night, and I was the only person in that whole entire space saying give Arteta, like, just get off his back, what he's doing, we're like on the brink. The whole entire space are now, and I feel the online fan base are really now mega on him. He fails to win up PSG, this fan base is going to explode on him.
Oh, it's going to go mental, mate.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to go mental.
Who's Global Football View? Who is it? Is that
Daniel?
Daniel.
So good evening, Seema. What, like, you're on a post?
Seema and the guys. Thank you so much, Daniel.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Melina, by the way.
So
that's all right. He can't remember our names.
Obviously not.
He's got amnesia.
So yeah, it was. It's really like turning. The fan base is mega turning against Arteta, and that, for me personally, I think it's absolutely ludicrous.
Mark, it's people showing their true colours, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. I shared. They said, Mark, when are you going to stop? And I said, give him the tools. Give Arteta the tools that he requires. Give him the defence, give him the midfield, give him the strikers, and if he fails, then yeah, we can. We'll sit down and have that conversation.
All right. Well, let me play devil's advocate here for a second, right?
Yeah.
So he's on. Yeah, he's in his 5th year basically, and he's basically been able, but like for the most part, we haven't bought a striker or anything like that. Whether right, wrong, or indifferent, whoever's choice it may be, I'll talk to my dad and tell him he was a dipshit for not buying a striker anyway. But Arteta has basically gotten the people that he wants.
Oh,
I'm glad he dropped because that was a way to go on him. He's the
Right.
way to say. He's the way to say Arteta got what he wanted, right? Before you bring him back in, don't bring him back in.
he's
Ask him
going to
about
get anyway.
What a
Yeah,
bad person you are.
Ask him about Garcia. Did Arteta get Garcia? Did he get Mudryk? Did he get his own strikers? Because
I'm
he's
so
the way
glad
to
you
get 20 off.
Williams. Did he get
Man,
Williams?
how y'all gonna do me like that?
You did yourself, mate. We didn't do you.
Oh, I did? Oh, my bad. But anyway, getting back to it, if he's getting all his people, then at what point do we start holding him accountable for this stuff? Like,
Well, no,
like
because
again,
we-
I'm not I'm not saying that.
No.
Go ahead. Tell me.
No,
Where I'm wrong.
no. Because I tell you why, Brian. Right? I'll be honest with you. Yeah, it's all on Arteta. Yeah, and even you would agree with this, right? And you've profusely defended these guys in the past, and I can understand why, right? How is it the owners always get a pass? Yeah, it's always Arteta that does the wrong, but the owners are like, well, we didn't buy a striker, we didn't do this, we didn't do that, ha 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 ha, and everybody's like, oh yeah, it's Arteta's fault.
Oh well, no. Again, I'm just playing devil's advocate because we do have the setup where we have the sporting director, where we do have the manager, and my understanding would be that the Cronkies just sign the checks. That's the way a good business is run. Is you put the best people in the position to be able to make the best decisions that they can.
Well,
And again, for argument's sake, if Arteta has been given the money to get the people that he needs, and the sporting director has been doing their job, whoever the sporting director is right now, like at what point in time do we hold Arteta accountable?
Has Arteta got what he's needed, Brian?
And I think that's a fair question. I absolutely think that is a fair question, which is why I'm not on the whole Arteta out thing. I'm just trying to look at it from the other side. Obviously, a more reasonable side than all the clowns you see on Twitter, but I'm trying to see the other side of it.
Right, so
Take your sunglasses off.
I've done what Daniel's asked me to do, right? I allowed you to speak there, right? And I appreciate what you're saying 100%, right? But it genuinely comes down to release the funds, owners, please, because we need the players. I mean, me, Mark, and Richard are putting these player breakdowns together at the moment, right? We've done 3 so far, haven't we, Rich? And they're coming out next week,
so
right?
far.
But it's like through talking about it, yeah. We need 7 or 8 players. Yeah, genuinely need 7 or 8 players. Money, you can't get it. You can't always get it from the bargain bucket. Yeah, the bargain base basket. You've got to spend money, and we're supposed to be getting a £300 million war chest. I don't know why they call it a war chest, but we're getting a £300 million war chest this transfer window, right? But Richard, tell them about how much do you think we will actually have if we sold all the players that we're meant to sell, mate?
Right. So, I mean, Tierney's going for free. Jorginho's going for free. Partey is likely to go for free. So, Trossard, you'll probably get 30, maybe 35 million for if he goes Saudi. Then you've got Zinchenko, 10, 15. Reece Nelson, 10 to 15. Kivior, you might make your money back on if you're lucky. Tommy Hassel, you're going to make a loss on. Then you're looking at for the Congas
Tavares.
and the Tavares, which have got loan deals in, they might make us a little money if we're lucky. But again, I think 9. It's if he sold, Tavares could make us up to sort of 19-20 million if he sold on again, which might likely happen. So what's that, 50, 60 million there? Zinchenko, as I said, maybe 10 to 20. So you're just struggling to make 100 million out of the.
So let me get it right. So let's say with the war chest, right? And Daniel is saying that Partey is staying. He could be right. I don't know. I actually don't know about that.
Yeah, we're in talks.
Daniel's also said is 7 or 8 players too much for this team. Daniel, if you break it down like we've been doing and doing these deep dives into players, then I'd have to say no, it's not, because of what you've got to replace as well. But I will say this, because Mark's gone off for a minute, so I'll just keep it going. Yeah, I will say this. Yeah, if we, for example, if we go for Gyökeres as an example, right? 80 million without even batting an eyelid. Yeah, we might be.
We know Zubimendi is a 50 million.
So,
there's 130.
So
if
Williams, we're not going to get Williams. Williams ain't going to come to us. He's too much. His wages are too high.
No,
and they don't want that sort of wage on the wage bill. What do you think, Seema? Do you agree?
Do you know what? Honestly, I'm no accountant, okay? So all I see is the fact that you earn the money, but you don't spend what you earn.
Yeah, but a lot of the point we're trying to make, Seema, right, is a lot of teams cover a lot of their finances by selling players. Yeah, you agree? It's a battle.
That is the nature of the game.
Yeah, that's the nature of the game.
Not just us, it's everybody.
That's what the problem with Arsenal is when it comes to selling players.
Yeah,
we're not very good at making profit.
Are we not? Reece
No,
Nielsen, isn't he homegrown?
No, who?
Reece Nielsen.
Yeah, he'll be homegrown.
He's not going to go for more than 20 million, let's say.
Okay, that's 20 million we didn't have.
Yeah, but that's what we broke it down. It adds up to about 70.
That's how it's looked at. I'm not looking at it.
No, I know.
You know, the business would look at it.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. The point I'm making is we.
But what I don't like, Des, is why are we giving Jorginho for free? His age?
He's out of contract.
He's out of contract. If he's going for free, use him at home. Use him.
Give him a rolling year contract.
Exactly. I mean, why not? At the moment, he slots in when we need him. He doesn't cock up a game, does he?
Mm-hmm.
We only signed him for 12 million, so it's not been a bad signing.
Well, there you go. But what I'm saying is, it's all going to be about what we get from the Champions League. It's not going to be about selling the players. We're not going to put it enough. Actually, did you look? Because I looked at the accounts a long time ago, and it looks like we're not going to be able to do anything now. But next season, I think he's going to have money.
Yeah, but we still need to subsidise, Seema, and that's what I mean about selling the players. You need to subsidise because they're not going to
have a set amount of players, right, on the list, right?
Yeah.
So then you'd be wiser about it. Why are we going to be giving away those players when we're not going to be earning any money from them? I don't understand how you balance.
It's all about being out of contract.
Well,
Since we've been looking into it, Seema, it's genuinely the main reason. Am I wrong, Mark? It's genuinely down to being out of contract, isn't it?
Yeah, he's out of contract. Jorginho's out of contract, so he's going to leave. Reece Nelson is injury prone, so we're never ever going to make any money from him.
But so is Calafiori. Calafiori's been out of the bloody game, then he's been more in the game.
And before he came to Arsenal, he was never injured.
Exactly. What's going on then?
Well, he did that one big injury when he was young.
One injury.
I mean, that is just not business sense, then, is it? I mean, what has gone on? I would want the club to look at, what are we doing so wrong that these guys keep getting injured, yet they can walk onto the pitch and high-five the players in instead of being on rest?
Look at Marino. He'd only been in the club 2 weeks. He dislocated his shoulder.
Right.
Broke his shoulder, whatever the case may be.
But he's come back stronger.
Yeah,
and he got injured again. But that's what I'm trying to say, is that why has it happened with Calafiori? We had so much high hopes with him.
If we win the Champions League, we won't spend too much because the club will turn to the fact that the team is good enough to win big trophies. No, we'll still spend it, Daniel. We will.
Because they'll see ka-ching, ka-ching.
Mm-hmm.
I can't just, but a way to touch on, because Brian wants to bring up a point. So,
can I just say this comment?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, of course you can, Des. So on you go.
But if we don't win the Champions League, they will spend because of fans' outrage. He's right. He is right there. I'll give him that. I will give him that. Carry on, Mark. Sorry about that.
Yeah. This week, we could come back to this. We will have time to fill in. I just want to touch on this. Brian, are you there? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, right. Last week, Paul, the person that runs the channel, wrote a brilliant article. Now, I pinned it in the comments, so if anybody in the comments wants to read it, you can do it. And it's regarding ticketing, and Brian felt kind of passionate about this. So, Brian, do you want to come through on it?
Yeah, everybody, put on your pot holders and all your firefighting gear, because I'm gonna be on a heater. This will probably get me kicked from this. So it's been awesome, guys. But I think that article was one of the most entitled, whiny articles I have ever read about Arsenal. And here's why. I had to go on and I had to Google where the Finsbury Park tube station is. I don't even know if there's a tube station there. And God damn it, if somebody wants to go find a drink before the game, fuck yes, I'm going to ask where the nearest pub is. I'm not going to know which direction to turn out of the tube station to get to the stadium. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. Like, you don't know who those people are. Like, I look at it from my aspect, right? I'm probably only going to be able to get to a game probably 2 or 3 times in my lifetime. And those people were able to do it. How do we know that they weren't diehard fans like we are? Don't sit here and bitch and complain that you can't get tickets because you don't know who is getting those tickets. You don't know. Then you sit here and, mind you, like, I understand the math and everything like that about, having the points to get the tickets and blah, 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 blah. But what about those of us who don't have the ability to get those points? Like, I have to go on through Arsenal America and win the first lottery through them when you have hundreds of people going for those tickets. Then nobody knows what the ticket allocation is going to be for Arsenal America. It could be 2 tickets. It could be 200 tickets. We don't know. And then you go by simple math. There are ballpark 110 million Arsenal fans out there. 110 million. And then you do the math, and let's say, 40 games, however many home games there are going to be, times 60,000 fans. That's 2.4 million people, or 2.4 million asses that are going to be able to get into the seats. How many people do you know would kill to have that opportunity? And for anybody to sit there and bitch and complain that they're not able to get tickets when there are millions of us out there that can't, fuck out of here with that shit. Fuck out of here with that shit.
Oh, no, that was a good run. I'll come back at you,
Is this about the ballot? Am I getting this right?
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
okay.
I'll bring everybody else in. But, Brian, I'll come back at you on this, right? First and foremost, if you're really that desperate to get a ticket, the Emirates has not been selling out over the last few weeks. Pick up a Premier League ticket. Paul was giving a ticket away free of charge last week. Totally free of charge. Wait, Brian.
Wait. For me to
Brian,
get a free
let me
ticket, if I
explain.
know about it 2 days ahead of time, that means that I personally have to spend thousands of dollars to fly from DC to London on a 7.5-hour flight at the drop of a hat. Who has money for that? And then I end up crashing into this place, and then you get all jealous because I'm staying.
Brian, when we come back,
what do we do?
Brian, let me explain the article so people listening could actually know what this is about, right? First and foremost, what I would say is one of the comments that came up, Brian, if you can see your screen, is from Mel. Hi all, good evening. She flies in from Canada most weeks, bro. So that first and foremost, what Paul was referring to regarding the article was on the greatest night or one of the biggest nights in Champions League history for Arsenal Football Club, 2 supporters were able to get their hands on tickets. 2 supporters that had never been to the Emirates before in their life. How is that even possible, Brian? How is that possible? So
I'm assuming that
that's
people
what Paul
aren't buying the tickets.
That's what that game sold out. Brian, Paul has credits, and Seema will explain more about that. It's just a season ticket holder. Paul has credits, and Paul balloted to get me a ticket for that game, and he was unsuccessful. And he has credits. So when you're saying that like Paul was bitching, he's not. It was one of the biggest games ever, Brian. And nobody, like it was impossible to get a ticket. 2 people turn up at Finsbury Park. I'm sorry, bro, but from Finsbury Park. Sorry, Richard.
Now I can say that when I go to games, you come out of Arsenal Station, you walk along on the corner house opposite Drayton Park entrance. There are 2 guys every time I've gone wanting to sell tickets to the match. This is what we're Paul's on about. It's how are these people able to get tickets and sell them illegally and still go onto the ticket exchange and get tickets for games like PSG.
They're supposed to be rooted out. I think this is a season ticket holder who has the ticket, prints it out, and sells it on.
It's the same.
But this time round, when I was walking to the game that day for the PSG game, there was 2 guys holding signs up saying tickets wanted. I literally was going to be tempted to say, "Oh, all right, I'll give you my ticket, $5 grand. What are you going to do? Shut up, because I ain't selling it." But
that's what people do.
And I don't get off. I had to get off at Finsbury Park because they did not stop at Highbury and Islington that day. So I had to walk from Finsbury Park down, and that's where I saw the 2 guys. And they were actually more near the Arsenal station. What I don't get is there's so much police around, but they're so blatantly obvious putting up a sign.
Do you know what's funny? I actually, each time that I travel down to go to Arsenal, I got off at Caledonian Road. I think that's the quickest way to the stadium.
Yeah, but sometimes they don't stop there when you get nearer to the game. 2 hours before the game, they stop. They shut Holloway Road, and they stop.
Yeah,
it's Holloway Road. Sorry, Holloway Road. Holloway Road. That's when I got off at normally.
Yeah, and also they've started not stopping at Highbury and Islington because the amount of people that are coming off, they just go on. They don't. They announce it, and I'm sitting there. Oh, now I'm going to go back to I've got to go to Finsbury Park and do that walk.
I don't mind Finsbury Park.
Mind you, there's a really lovely hot dog stand outside the Arsenal station. I always get my hot dog from there.
There's a top of the range pub right opposite, an absolute top pub opposite Finsbury Park station, and that's where.
Yeah, you've told me about that. I just don't.
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
I can't add to what you're saying, but I can understand regarding the ballot, because I don't think Brian's frustration is at Paul, right? I think Brian's frustration is at the ballot. And I've got to be honest, correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, but I've got to be honest, I don't think the ballot works for anybody. I really don't. I think
it doesn't.
No, I don't think it works for anybody. And it must be worse. It must be worse for someone like Brian, who isn't in the country, who would love to come and see a game. But as he says, it's like he's got to pay a load of money. He's got a couple of days wiggle room to get here, if that. You know, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for anybody, I don't think. And I think it's a little bit biased as well. But
it is biased.
That's just my
It is
opinion.
biased. I've been a Red member for 3.5 years, and I balloted for lots of games, right? And I'm going to tell you, like, the funniest one ever. And this is comical, absolutely comical. 3.5 years of being a Red member, I've never won one single ballot. Never
That's
once.
the same here. I've been a Red member for 5 years, and I regret giving my season ticket up when we moved from Highbury. But I got married and had kids.
Everybody sold the kids and the wife and kids season ticket whole season
Right. Right.
But anyway, just
Thank God we're not married, Mark.
I just want to clarify.
I would never give you up. I would never give you up.
Really? Yeah, you like shit.
I just want to clarify with Brian. What is your frustration? Is it the ballot? I take it is the ballot, is it?
So yes, it's absolutely the ballot, and you know, I don't completely understand the dynamics between the red membership and the silver membership and everything like that. Like honestly, I don't even know if, you know, I could join the red membership or whatever, being in the States, you know. And then I understand that you get the credits, you know, through going to games or through winning ballots or whatever the hell it is. And I also completely understand, you know, if the place is sold out, but people don't end up going, and, you know, if places like StubHub or whatever are taking those tickets. But like, I mean, I guess maybe I misinterpreted the article, but like, shit talking those dudes that got off at Finsbury Park and were asking, you know, how to get there. You don't know who they are. You know, you just
Brian, it's
don't.
just the magnitude bit. It's the magnitude of the game, and if they didn't know where to get off or how to get to the game, then in that in itself probably says they shouldn't be getting a ticket to the semi-final, and that's what the article was about.
But I probably would have decided that I would have walked the wrong way off the goddamn tube station too.
But you did listen, like Paul would have guided them to the actual stadium, right? He's a nice guy. He would never like not do that, right? But the point is that even though Paul has credits, etc., and when he normally ballots for a ticket, he normally gets it, and he couldn't get one. But here's two guys that have never been to Arsenal before getting off a tube and don't even know where the stadium is. A semi-final of the Champions League, Brian. This is not like
Mark.
But then what are you trying to do? Like how are you trying to judge somebody's depth of their being a supporter?
Nobody's judging them. They could be like the biggest fanatics like us, Brian.
Okay, Mark, I'm going to give you another story, right, from that PSG game. So there's the guy that owns the season ticket sits in front of me. He has two, right?
Yep.
Lovely guy. He owns he owns a political charity, so he's going all over the world, right? He had given his ticket to two guys. Okay, guys I hadn't seen before. I know the regular, I know his daughter, and I know the other regulars that come. His son-in-law comes with his son, etc. Right? These two guys are sat there through the entire PSG game, talking about their job.
There you go.
They missed the fucking goals. And they got up in the last 2 minutes of when the whistle had gone to clap the team. So as they left, I turned around and said, "Oh, did you enjoy the game? Shame you missed the goals."
Yeah.
So when his colleague had come, who I know, to the next game, I turned around and said, "Who were those guys that came and sat in your seats?" Because fuck me, that was a real piss take. That they didn't even bother looking at the pitch. All they did was talk about. She goes, "I'm going to go back to Tony and I'm going to ask him who he did." I said, "Because I'm sorry, but someone else could have appreciated those tickets. I am so pissed off that he allowed that." I got pissed off. The people all around us were pissed off that we could hear their conversation because they had to shout to talk to get their conversation because the noise was so loud. We didn't want to hear their bloody job.
And Seema, like,
go and drink inside then if you want to talk about your bloody job. This is the
Seema,
game of our season, and you have taken the piss in taking those tickets.
And I will,
because they were free to them.
Yeah, exactly.
And I will unequivocally agree with you, Seema. I will unequivocally agree with you. But again, like how do you know who is getting the that guy that gave them dudes those tickets? Like, did he know that they weren't Arsenal fans?
So I don't know, because I don't know whether Tony knows, because I haven't seen Tony. Tony is the guy that actually gave me the ticket for Emerson on the last game of the season last season, because he was so upset that the guy that was meant to come with him turned around and said, "Oh, I'm too ill, I can't make the game. Now my seat's empty." So I said to Tony, "Tony, I can get someone in who would really appreciate it." So Tony went out with me. I called Emerson, said, "Get back to the stadium, I'll get you in." So, he was really grateful that seat had a butt on it. And it went to someone who really, really is a fan. So I don't know whether Tony knew or not, but I made sure that his colleague knew that they were not fans and that Tony shouldn't do that again, because I know how Tony feels about it.
So I've got a question, Brian, right? I'm a season ticket holder, right? You're my friend, yeah? If I can't make a game, how much notice would you need to make the game that I can't make? Do you understand what I mean?
Like if you're there and I'm here?
Yeah. So I'm in London, right? I can't make the game. I'm a season ticket holder. I say, "Hey, Brian, there's a game available. Could be any date, right?" How much time would you need to be able to come and watch that game?
I mean, for my personal situation, like right now,
Yeah.
I probably need 2 weeks to plan it out.
2 weeks. There you go. So now we understand how much time it would take you to sort out to be able to get to a match. Yeah.
Yeah. Brian, I want to touch on something because it's ticket in, right? And I'm not actually going to say it, I'm just going to ask the question, right? But you do know you have only 80% chance of getting a ticket. And the bar is a joke. It's a waste of time. It's an absolute waste of time. The funny point I was going to pick up on, I was coming down for the Zagreb game with Paul, and there was lots of tickets available for the Champions League. So I thought, I rubbed my hands. I was like, excellent. I'm going to go on and get a ticket. It'll be the first time on my red membership, a ticket's there. So I'm on, ticket's there, I try to buy one. I couldn't buy it because my membership is actually I renewed it after a certain date, which was in August. So I couldn't get the ticket. I actually had to get Paul to go and get me the ticket. Honestly, being a red member is a waste of money. Absolute waste of money. It's just like you've no chance. But Brian, you do know that like the second leg of the Champions League, just before we do touch on the PSG, because I do want to touch on that. Arsenal only got, I think, was it 2,500, Seema?
Yeah.
2,500 tickets. Now, Seema, do you want to explain what happened with the ticket allocation for the players?
Yeah, I can tell you. So I found out from somebody who is, he's a season ticket holder, and he goes to all the away games. And they found out that this time round, Mr. Kroenke took the players' allocation. They get allocated 200 tickets. So I cannot verify it because I haven't spoken
I've heard that from someone else as well.
Yeah,
I've heard that from someone else as well.
The Kroenkes took the 200 allocation for the players and their relatives to travel to Paris. So with the knock-on effect, they then in turn took it from the supporters club that took it from the ballot.
Well,
So
when you say
people lost out.
yeah, but when you say took, does that mean that my dad is bringing 200 of his own people?
Yeah.
Or
yes.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
And do you know what's horrible about it? see if you go on to Twitter, I'm going to plug them because they're a good podcast. Guns and Yellow Ribbons.
Yeah.
They're a very, very good podcast. They follow, Halsey follows, I've got pictures of Halsey and is it Ferguson Halsey, isn't it? So I've got a picture taken with them when I was in Newcastle. I met them. But Halsey actually goes to every game, home and away, and has done, and he's actually missed out on Paris.
Yeah, my
How
friend.
could you even explain that? How could you even explain that,
It just
Brian?
means you can't be a dedicated fan, doesn't it? It knocks out, you know.
Well, again, like I don't live in the UK, and so like this, like I don't necessarily understand how ticketing works, but also, I mean, for my local DC United, like I could go on, or I could they played here last night. I could have gone on Ticketmaster like 2 hours before the game and gotten a ticket. And so like if you get more tickets and you're able to buy them and you're able to go to the game, then you go into a lottery, and the more credits you have, the more likely it is for you to win the lottery to go to another game. Is that how that works?
It's kind of, yeah, you build up each time that you get tickets. So, for instance, Brian, none of us, Simi could, but none of me or you couldn't attend a away game. We have no chance. You can't even ballot for them. But what we could do is we could ballot, but it's done through a point scoring. So unless you actually start winning ballots, you can't actually build up momentum to get more and more and more.
But once you've started, you can get on it. So my friends, they're all on the ballot system for the away games. So as soon as they come up, you build up, like I think it's 2 points or 1 point for every away game you go to. But the best way to get your points accumulated is to go to the games that others don't want to go. So like people didn't want to go to the Blackpool game, if you remember. Was it Blackpool or Preston? Preston. They didn't want to go there. So that ballot was more open to everybody. And then, and then they open the ballot. So someone like me, I've got 0 points because I've never been to I've never bought an away game. I have a friend who gets the away tickets and they gave me the ticket. So I was able to go to the Wolves game. So they get the points. I won't get the points. So, but my other friends, they go to every single game, be it home, away, be it away in this country or away abroad. They've been to all of them, but they couldn't get the PSG because it started off from I think it's the 85 point to the 75 points.
Yeah.
And as soon as it went down to the 65 and 55, there was none left.
Yeah, they're gone. So the Clunkers have actually taken 200 tickets away from real loyal fans that go to home and away games, and 200 of them are not getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say usually players get an allocation regardless. But I do believe that for these types of games, UEFA make that come out of the whole club allocation. Usually they are separate to what could go to the club.
All right. So then, yes, I will absolutely say that my anger there was partially misdirected because the math still works. There's still 2.4 million games or 2.4 million asses you can put in seats at the Emirates during a season, and there's 110 million Arsenal fans out there, and so there's only so many people that are going to be able to get there. But yeah, if you're taking even one seat away, then that's absolutely fucked. That's absolutely fucked, and I will absolutely concede that point.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing on this is that Josh and Stan will not care if there's no people in that stadium. As long as the tickets have been paid for and they've got money for the seats, they won't care if no season ticket holder turns up because it's already been paid for.
Brian, can I give you some advice?
Yeah, as long as it's not to kick rocks.
No. Make real good friends with a season ticket holder, right? And hope that they can't get to every game. then you wouldn't have to ballot. You wouldn't have to ballot.
Do you know something? I've been to 5 games this season, and like that's not too bad considering that I'm on actually Scotland. It's a 1,000-mile round trip. But one of the games I won a competition and I got hospitality. That's when I met you, Seema, and you fell in love. Yeah. Seema actually said yeah when I said that.
I didn't say yeah.
You set her up.
You did.
You set her up.
She said yeah. So yeah,
but then here's gonna be my thing, right? Yes, 100%. I want to get tickets however I can. But if I have to get a hookup, then how is that fair to the other 110 million people that don't have that hookup? You know?
Because that's what's happening, Brian. That's reality of what's happening. And I have absolutely zero chance of getting a ticket for Arsenal Football Club. None whatsoever.
None, Nick.
Honestly,
Brian, season ticket holders are giving it to their mates.
Yeah.
So they're never getting put onto the exchange.
Yeah, you go onto the exchange and there is none.
That's what I tried to say to you 10 minutes ago, Brian. If I was a season ticket holder and I got in touch with you, yeah, and I said I can't make this game, and you said, well, I need 2 weeks to get over, yeah, I would make sure that you've got the 2 weeks because I don't want the ticket to be wasted because I still get the credits.
you get penalised as well if you don't turn up and you don't put your ticket on the exchange. Seema, you would explain more on that. But like if you do a no-show at the stadium, that's like horrendous. It goes against you.
Yeah,
I think there is something there where you put it on the exchange, and if it doesn't sell, then it's not held against you.
Yeah.
But you've got to get it on the exchange.
Yeah.
I totally get that. Like I'm just, I don't know. I guess I'm defaulting from the position that I don't have a hookup, right? Like I'm defaulting from the position that I'm, Joe Schmuckatelli in buttfuck Texas who just happens to be an Arsenal fan and doesn't know anything else.
but you have got a hookup. It's weird because you've made friends through this.
I mean, yeah, that's
so there is a
very
chance
true, and I really
a
appreciate it.
Yeah, so Brian, see if you were flying over to London, you would attend the game. As long as it was now like a semi-final against PSG, because two other pricks have taken your ticket out there.
Right.
I don't know why Mark's complaining because he could get to every home game if he wanted as a ball boy.
They use him as the ball. Like he wouldn't even be a ball boy. They use him as the ball.
Richard, keep it up. I was wondering where
I want to see him
alive.
I want to see him in one of them high-vis vests, sitting on one of them little plastic stools.
His legs should still be dangling in the air.
Knocks the ball to him. The excitement on his face would be amazing.
I'd like to see it when Raheem Sterling knocked his ball to him.
Could you imagine me being a ball boy and Raheem Sterling standing beside me? Oh, you fucker.
Yeah, but you're the kind of geezer that will kick him in the shins when he's got shin pads on.
No, I'd be the only ball boy ever to be sent off. Give him a sliding tackle. Right, guys, we're down to the last 20 minutes of the show. So it's only fair that we discuss PSG on Wednesday, how we're going to turn this around, predictive lineups, and a bit of enthusiasm. So, Richard, do you want to go first this time?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much I would change. Party comes straight.
Okay,
back
thank you for that.
Party comes straight back into a team. Marino goes up top, and it'll be a case of is Timber fit? If Timber's fit, he plays. If not, White plays.
Is that it?
Yeah.
That's what Arteta will do. It's not what I'd do, but that's what Arteta will do.
So give us the other side of the coin. What would you do?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I think I'd put Nwaneri in for Odegaard. He's not in form. He's lost a lot of confidence. Bring him on as a sub.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah.
Do you know what else that you could do, Richard?
Yeah. Give on then your number. Your
No, what you could do is not wear your fucking Arsenal shirt this Wednesday.
Yeah, don't wear your Arsenal shirt on Wednesday, Richard.
Oh, he
Jesus.
broke the habit of a lifetime, didn't he?
Yes, I
told
did.
us- the thing, Seaman, the thing is, right, he told us, right, we said to him, Richard, wear your Arsenal shirt on Tuesday, right? Oh, when I wear my Arsenal shirt, Arsenal lose. So we kind of said, well, don't wear it then. And then he turned it up with it on.
Do you know what? Now you guys say that, I actually wore my purple shirt for that game. I ain't going to wear it again.
What, this one?
Yeah.
Oh, don't be like that, Seaman. You look good
I'm
in
not
it.
actually. I'm not superstitious anyway.
So, Des, you want what would be your predictive lineup and how do we
What's it
turn
got to
this
do with you?
around?
What's it got to do with you?
It's called the show.
Oh,
You
right.
just-
We're still on, are we? Right. Okay. So I was more amazed that you could tell the time. What would I do? Well,
It's
Richard.
digital. It's digital. Of course, you can tell the time.
Oh, good for you, mate. Good for you. Hey, let's see, get everyone. There's hope for everybody. Yeah, it's for me. Saka's been. I'm going to say it, and I know I'm probably going to get a bit of hate for this. Saka's been off the boil. He needs to play well on Wednesday night. Yeah. I'm going to slightly disagree with Richard in the respect of, would you not agree that this is the game where you really do need your captain?
If I thought with confidence that he could turn that loss of form and confidence around, yes.
Right. What do you other guys think? I mean, is it the game where you do need your captain, or
No, it's a game where you need Odegaard, and it's not a game where you put Eaton in when it's too big a game for Eaton. And I think that would be completely wrong, and it just shows that Richard's seen old git. That's about as far as it would go. But so no, you do need your captain.
I think he's licking too much pepper.
well,
Yeah.
I mean, we've pointed out all the faults from the previous games that have happened this week on this show so far. Raya needs to stay on his line. Yeah, he needs to control his. He needs to control his area more. Yeah, we are missing. I mean, no disrespect to to Kivior, because Saliba's made mistakes. Right, we are missing Gabriel. Yeah, that would make a big difference. Yes, we've got Partey back. I'm hoping that he's going to step up to the plate. We need to press like we've never pressed before. That's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Because they're fast. They are a fast team. Yeah. And the thing is though, we can get up the pitch just as fast as them. We just haven't done it lately. Yeah. And for me, as I said before, I'm not losing my head. I'm not losing my shite because we're only 1-0 down. We can turn this around. And we've got, in all fairness, even though we've pointed out the faults and whatever else, we've got the team to do it. And we need to believe in Mikel Arteta.
100%.
That's it, plain and simple. Believe in the manager, believe in the team. And I know it's so stereotypical, the right word. The fans need to be the 12th man. I know it's going to be hard.
You're not here to fans.
No, I know. I know it's going to be harder at PSG because of where they're going to put them. But make as much noise as you can. Get behind the team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know,
We will.
Oh, I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But I'm just, I'm trying to light a fire under people. Do you know what I mean? You know, and that's what we've been lacking the last couple of weeks. We haven't got that fire in our belly, and we need it.
We'll have it. That's,
the team needs it as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we need to trust in Arteta. If there's one time you need to trust in Arteta, it's on.
Look, the girls turned it around.
Exactly. That was harder. I think that was harder to do than the men. Seema, what's your take? What changes do you think will be made?
To be honest, right, I would like him to start with Nweri, with Ethan, and he can bring him on. I really don't understand the whole concept, like, oh, we're just going to do the subs in the 72nd minute. Why? Is it like superstition? Or is it just in his head? That's the point I don't get. Why can't, if it's not working in the first 25, 30 minutes of the game, bloody change the sub. That's the point I don't get. Because it's the in-game play. But, he changes certain things, but not everything. Why not change the player? If we're saying, right, that, Odegaard has lost his confidence, bloody hell, these 18-year-olds have so much fire in their belly. Let them get in there.
Well, you could give Declan the captaincy as well, couldn't you?
Yeah.
No, don't do that. Don't.
I'm just saying, if you said if he's lacking confidence, then you give, just for one match, you give the captaincy to someone else.
It's Saka. Saka's the first captain.
It would be Saka next in line.
Fair enough. I'm just saying though, but you could give it to Rice. I'm just saying.
And I mean, that might be another issue with Odegaard that a lot of people clamoured for, didn't want him as captain in the first place, and they clamoured for Rice, and Rice has been putting in captain performances week in, week out.
But we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Like we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Your captain doesn't have to have a performance per se. Your captain has to be out there to be able to lead by example. It's a lot. It's a lot easier to lead by example if you're able to put on smokers all day every day, but you don't need to.
Yeah, when I say performance, Brian, I mean like with Steven Gerrard in Istanbul, for example, those type of things where they literally drag the team through to the next round, like Declan in the first leg against Real Madrid, and pretty much in the second leg as well. Those type of things where they stand up and are counted.
Are you guys getting the feeling like? Do you remember me and Mark have talked about this? I think Seema, you've mentioned this as well. Okay, I'm not counting you two guys out. Come in if you want to, right? But I know that me, Mark, and Seema had a conversation where when it was Real Madrid, we were up here. Yeah. Are you getting that same feeling with PSG? Because that's what we need. We need that feeling.
No, I'm not this. I know where you're coming from. I'm not at all. I don't even think I was in the first leg, but I think even coming in the second. But maybe I don't want to peak too early, start getting excited. So I'm trying to block it as much as I can. But I'll let the rest of the guys come through on it. Seema, are you feeling the same about PSG as you do me?
To be honest, I'm not actually overthinking anything or thinking too much about it. But a part of me is saying, we've got this. We're not the same old Arsenal.
No,
so I don't want to bring out my confidence so much, because then it's almost like I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah.
That's basically the bottom line. Even like when I was talking to, the guy today, I was like, I mean, what do you even know? We're such a great team that we can come back from this. Our ladies came back. Why can't we?
Exactly. And for me, Seema, this is a more important game than the Real Madrid one.
Of course.
Yeah, I think a lot of the fan base underestimated how good PSG are, and were expecting us to stroll it like we did against PSV and Real Madrid.
But
and
also, Rich,
that's not the reality. Yeah.
No, go on, finish.
PSG and Barcelona are the top two teams in this competition. It was always going to be hard, but we had a better chance of going through against PSG than playing against Aston Villa.
But then also what you've got to remember as well, we've walked into this game against PSG, and correct me if I'm wrong, right? Going, well, we've already beaten them this season. Yeah.
Well, that was,
so
that was a totally different game.
Yeah, but I still think we walked into this one a bit blasé.
Yeah.
A bit, oh, we've already beat them, it's going to be a walk in the park.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Because they didn't. If you look at the original when we played them in the group stages, they didn't have Dembele. They didn't have the midfielder. Was it Vitinha in there? And it's a Vitinha, Neves, and Ruiz are a very technical, strong midfield. They're not physical, but once they get on that ball, they're difficult to get off.
We didn't control the midfield in the first game either. That was
We didn't have. They didn't have. I butcher his name every time. Cavascale, yeah. They didn't. He wasn't playing in the first leg either.
That was the other player I forgot. Yeah,
And he was actually the best player for them. Him and Neves were the two best players for them.
I mean,
I felt
they haven't got Dembele for the next leg, have they?
They say he's going to be fit.
I bet he's going to be back.
They say he's going to be fit. They reckon
Mind games, just like Arteta's talking about Timber. Mind games.
Yeah, you got to think, right? Timber's one of our best one-on-one defenders, and Carvet Shelia had him on toast all evening in that game.
Yeah,
and that doesn't happen very often too.
That's actually a point before, like we have to go on to the sponsors and stuff like that. But Ben White, he didn't show enough against Bournemouth to be considered for this game, did he?
No.
Yeah.
I thought he was,
that whole Saka, Odegaard, Ben White thing.
It's crumbled. It's crumbled. There's chinks in the armour there now at the moment.
Yeah.
And again, it's all to do with it. All three have been injured. So
yeah.
Brian,
no,
are you cool, Brian? You've been very quiet, bro.
Yeah, I've been on mute because like now that I'm inside from walking Annie, I'm not wearing my sunglasses anymore. But I'm multitasking like I always do on a Sunday.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so hopefully you're calm. You're calm. So, Brian, would you make any changes to the side? Do you think Thomas Partey coming back in will show up that midfield? And do you think the midfield will decide this game?
Yeah, yeah, I absolutely do. I mean, it was painfully obvious how much we were missing Partey the other day. You know, like we were saying, you know, PSG hit us on the counter countless times, and if Partey was back there to sweep up, we would have been fine. I personally, I would play White, Odegaard, and Saka on the right side, because even though they haven't had that much time to play together this season, like that's still where all our good attacks come from. I would play Marino up top. I would play Martinelli out on the left, and I would stick with Kivior. Like, I mean, obviously, would still stick with Kivior, but Kivior has really, really impressed me stepping in for Big Gabby. Like where has this guy been the entire time he's been with Arsenal?
Well, he's playing, but I tell you where he's been, bro. He's playing in the right position now, and now he's got minutes.
Yeah,
very true.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think that Mourinho up top will make a massive difference for Arsenal. Trossard just didn't do enough to worry their defence, in my opinion. I'm not picking on Trossard. He will have to sit on the bench, but at least that gives us another option later in the game if we need it.
And he's a great super sub. Trossard is a great super sub.
I like when he's a sub because he's angry when he's a sub. And when he's angry, he normally does better. And that's reality. He normally does better. So for me, just starting games is just we don't get the best out of Trossard at all. I'm going to run through the sponsors shortly. Does anyone else want to add anything in?
Are we going to do score predictions quickly?
Yeah, we can do. Yeah, you start then, Richard. By the way, it's PSG versus Arsenal. Just in case you slipped your mind in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's 3-1 to us.
3-1, good man. Des?
3-0 to us.
3-0. Oh, Des right out. Brian?
Y'all ain't going to like this call. 1-0 us. PSG go through on penalties.
No, Brian. No.
Brian, are you trying to get kicked off of this?
Hey, you guys know that I come with the truth. You guys know that I come with the truth, and believe me, I want to believe with all my heart that we're going to go in there and we're going to smoke them.
We need an
I
early
just
goal.
don't see
We
it.
do need an early goal.
Yeah, 100%.
Nah, we're only one down, so we've got the 90 minutes. Seema?
I want to say 3-1, so 3-2 in aggregate.
Right, so you go 3-1 in the game. And
Yeah.
I'm going to go a very bold 3-0 Arsenal. I'm going with Des.
Write that one down, Seema. Write them both down, Seema.
No, he's the host. He's got a bloody well do it.
No, I've done it. I've written them down. The last time that me and Des made a prediction, Seema tried to jump in the group chat, like who got it right and taking all the plaudits, only to look back and realise it was me and Des.
You're still living off that, you bloody.
That's all we've got to live off.
Yeah. No, just it is. I'm trying to. There we go. Look how young she looks tonight.
Shut up.
Wow, that's a backhanded insult. How are you going to say Seema's not pretty all the time? That's messed up, dude.
No, Brian, not at all. I am the one that constantly tells Seema how beautiful that she looks all the time.
Can we get on and finish your show?
Yeah, I just think that she looks just a little bit extra special. I don't know, something happened today. You've like got a little sparkle in your eyes, Seema.
Right, we're not letting Mark host the show ever again.
Damn, the thirst is real.
You should have seen what we got in the green room.
This is
in the North Bank, not dating in the North Bank. Thank
you.
Right, I'm going to do sponsors, and I'm going to keep Seema there for the sponsors.
It's all right, Seema. I'll sort it out. Don't worry.
No, Diddy, leave her. Right, I'm going to hand you over to Paul. He'll explain what's happening, guys. Ruth Beck, she's absolutely amazing. And we're giving away one of our, it'll either be a print or a surprise bag at the end of the month. All you have to do, jump over to YouTube, hit sub, hit like, tell Seema she looks beautiful, and you're in the draw. It's as simple as that. So, look how gorgeous you look. So, guys, I'll hand you over to someone who is not quite as gorgeous. In fact, I would say not very gorgeous at all, but enjoy.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to In the North Bank. This is the Bray, just before dipping off to the game today. And some news involving the Big Sunday show. And look, today, we've got some really good news. We've officially partnered with the brilliant Ruth Beckart, and is our very first sponsor. And to celebrate, we're launching something very special for the show. So we'll be offering a monthly giveaway where you can win a stunning Arsenal watercolour handcrafted by Ruth herself, and they are fantastic. And I've been aware of Ruth for a long time through some of the posts she's put out about her art, and some of them are fantastic. They're all good, but some of them really make the heart melt. Yeah, really good stuff. Well worth a visit. We're going to ruthbeckart.com. Going to be really simple to enter. Here's what to do. First, subscribe to the channel. Secondly, like this video. And then also like the Big Sunday show video once it's live. And then thirdly, comment below directly on the Big Sunday show stream with the hashtag Ruth Beckart, and that's it. You'll be in a chance to win that artwork, and any true Arsenal fan would love it on the wall. There's some really good stuff to have. And just a quick important note, giveaway is only for UK residents, and we'll be announcing the winners right here during the Big Sunday show. So make sure you stay tuned, get involved, and keep an eye out. Yeah, so that'll be the Big Sunday show, the first of the month, the first week of the month. That will be announced. The draws or the competition end date will be 6 o'clock on the final day of the month. So 31st of May at 6 o'clock. That will be it, the cut-off, and then the next Sunday after that we'll have the announcement who wins. So massive thanks again to Ruth Beck Art for supporting the show, the community online, and a massive thanks to you all for being part of it too. The show has gone on. The contributions have been fantastic. Special thanks to Mark, to Des the Enforcer, and Richard as well for keeping the content going. The ideas, it's brilliant. It's brilliant to see, and it's not all on me now, which I've struggled with. So brilliant for everyone, because it means there's going to be more Arsenal content. But as I say, don't miss out. Subscribe, like, comment, hashtag Ruth Beck Art, and you could be the next lucky winner. Well, certainly our first lucky winner, and then the months after that, we'll see what we do. But good luck, everyone. As always, come on, you Gunners. See you later.
Paul's almost hosting a podcast himself. He's honestly great guy, absolutely brilliant guy. I just quickly, before we shut down, I'm going to show off some of Riff's work. This, Brian, you look so nice with the glasses on. He's actually hiding his face again. This is some of Riff's. This is some of Riff's work. This is in my house, guys. Honestly, it's brilliant that Ruth has got involved and she's doing this. She's absolutely fantastic. I'm a massive fan. My house is covered in this, honestly. Absolutely phenomenal work. Absolute brilliant work. And she's past, present, etc. So yeah, guys, do get involved. Just drop a like, hit a sub, hashtag RoofN as well. Go over to our shop. It's displayed on the screen. They are so cheap, honestly. She's selling her stuff so cheap, and it's absolutely amazing value. So I'm trying to ban myself off it. I've actually asked the Roof to ban me off our site as well, because I do constantly spend on it. But yeah, that's that. And lastly, I would like to thank Des for coming on.
Cheers, man. Thanks for having me. Brian, stay in the green room for 5 minutes because I want to have a quick chat with you after the show.
Yeah. Richard, thank you for coming on.
Always a pleasure, mate.
It was not, I can assure you. It was seriously
Richard, I enjoyed it, especially when you were licking Peppa Pig.
No, that is not the term that he used at the start. Honestly, it's the worst beginning to a podcast that we've ever had. The guy stitched me right up. Brian, thanks for coming on, brother.
Always, dude. Always. Like, I love this, and if I get booted, I'm gonna miss y'all.
You won't get booted. You won't get booted.
Oh,
what would you get booted for? Just for having a go at Paul's article? You're entitled to have a go.
Brian, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Don't worry.
Exactly. Don't worry about it.
And Brian, I could just say for the record, right, and I'm going to put it out on here, Paul, Richard thinks you've got really big nostrils.
I think I look like the Dark McDonald.
Right, so there you go, Brian. You're off the hook. I'll be Richard getting booted. Thanks for coming on.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Late as usual, but
ladies' prerogative, mate. Ladies' prerogative.
Actually,
I was early, and I was early.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Stop that. Just because you're the host for one day, don't mean
in it, Seema. Tell him,
He's
Seema. Give him
claiming
it.
other people who got
Brilliant one.
dementia.
Are we having a domestic?
Yeah.
In your dream.
Seema, I love you. Thanks so much, guys. You've been watching the Big Sunday Show. Next week, normal service resumed. Seymour Denzel doing the hosting. I'm not doing it. And
Thank
until
God
the
for
next,
Yeah, thank God for that.
until the next one, guys. Come on, you Arsenal.
Come on.
You guys.